DC here. Hi guys and gals. Well, I hope you're well. And it is the 30th of December. So if you've noticed, this is not a Vlogmas because that ended up on Christmas Day. At least I decided to follow that line. There was two lines, it seems. Some people said all of December, and others said it would be at Christmas, and that kind of makes sense when you think about the name. Anyway, so today, yeah, it's Wednesday, so it's hump day. But in a way, it's even past that because I work tomorrow, just a short day, and finish at 3, and then it's off for the New Year's day. So yeah, the 1st. So that's like 2 days off. 1 day off. Yeah, 1 day off. Yeah. So what I'm gonna chat about today. I saw a paper. Actually, it was something. Was it in the New York Times? No, it was somewhere else, I think. But it was on ageism. And ageism is quite a subject lately because of all this virus stuff that's going on, you know, like how do you look at old people now? And especially it's become another subject matter is like with these vaccinations that are starting, and most countries are vaccinating the elderly because they're the risk factors, or they're, you know, who do you vaccinate first? Things like that. And I mean, have you been infected with ageism? I know that some of you might say, well, is that really for the really old? Well, actually, no. Ageism might, usually we think about for the elderly people, and I think actually I was even reading somewhere that elderly is not a nice word because, you know, I don't know, it kind of puts us all, you should say the older and the younger. There's even politically correct ways of talking about old people now. So I don't know. I mean, usually it's like, what is it, like something challenged. Usually you have that word, you know, like vertically challenged for short people. Or what's happening there? I'm just becoming very dark all of a sudden. Oh, it's too much light in the background. Let me see if I can help that a bit. Yeah, make it a little bit lighter. Helps a little bit. Yeah, so things like that. So what would it be? Age challenge? I don't know. You know, depending on where you're working, actually ageism can be, I'm too young. Too young because people will say, I don't have the experience. Or too old because, you know, you're over the hill in most things. I know that where I work now, in the administration, at least as far as I know, I'm actually the eldest person in the, I don't know if in the whole company, but you know, at least in the plant here, I am the oldest now because the older ones, which were my two bosses, so the CEO and number 2, have retired. Yeah. So, and I actually, you know something? Ever since these people have left, I do feel it. I feel it because, I mean, groups have been reorganized and different subject matters, which I cannot get into for different business reasons. But having said that, I'm very much on my own now all of a sudden. And I hear things like people will be talking about things, and some groups don't even want you to give an opinion. We don't care what you're going to say. So often I hear things and I know the answer to that. But I've learned in the meantime they don't want to hear it from me, so it's like, okay, too bad for you. But yesterday was even something really dumb, you know. Sometimes it's computer stuff. And, you know, they ask amongst themselves, the young kids, but who would think to ask the old guy? And up to now, I've known all the answers they were asking. I mean, it was trivial things. But it might not even be with software and stuff. Sometimes it's just how do you do that? You know, if you've been working in the field for years and on different computer programs, you usually know how to get around it. The problem is a lot of people my age don't, so that's probably why. Yeah, so what are different stereotypes they say for aging? Well, here I got a few that are written. One stereotype is that younger people often assume that older individuals have had their turn and it should be the younger generation's turn. Or the second stereotype relates to what somebody calls consumption. Younger people frequently feel that limited resources should be spent on themselves rather than on older adults. Oh, that's nice. Finally, younger people also hold stereotypes about the identity of older adults. younger people feel that those who are older, that they should act their age. Oh, not do computer stuff. And not try to steal the identities of younger people, like speech patterns and manners of dress and so on. So in other words, I mean identity politics once again. Yeah, it's a little bit of an identity politics thing, isn't it? You know. Oh, ageism is a type of discrimination that involves prejudice against people based on their age. Okay, so you imagine if you're an old person of color. Okay, now, there's other articles. This was in The Lancet. Yeah. COVID ageism as a public mental health concern. And one of that is that actually in certain countries, people have been, made to be, like they've been told basically, you're a burden. You're old, you're a burden, we got to take care of you. Have you heard about, there was this, I don't know if I've got it here, but there was, in Twitter, there was these hashtags on, what was it, Boomer something, like Boomer Destroyer or something, I don't remember what it was. Here it is, Boomer Remover. That basically there was hate speech saying, that, okay, COVID at least is a boomer remover because we're at the basis of all, us boomers, the baby boomers, at the base of everything that's wrong in the world. So COVID is our fault. That seemingly is one thing. Yeah, tell me what you think about it. They say that in social media, because social media is so nice. I mean, you can just see, I'm not going to get into that. But I was just going to say, how nice people become weirdos on social media. I've known quite a few actually where you're shocked when you see what they say about others. And, a lot is being said about the boomers. So have you felt it? I actually have, slowly but surely, started to feel some of it. Not always negative, but more often negative than not. It used to be we would say, well, the elderly, I'm going to use that word anyway, the elderly, were, yes, they were a source of, after a certain age, they could have been a burden, but usually they were there, they were not only a source of wisdom, but I mean, they're multi-generational homes, there was a use for the elderly. Maybe that's one of the reasons that ageism is coming, is you put them into nursing homes and things like that. So you tell me, what do you think about ageism? I just really scratched, the surface. There's a whole bunch of papers. There's this one here, the eClinical Medicine, which is quite interesting. Like I say, it was called Social Media Ageism in Older Adults During the COVID-19 Pandemic. Anyway, whatever. Enough. I've been talking 8 minutes. That'll be enough for today. Tell me what you think about it. DC signing off. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.